Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of Becoming with Ketney. Now today, I want to talk about whether or not you've ever felt like nothing is wrong necessarily in your life, but something still feels off. In adulthood, we often have responsibilities, work responsibilities in the home, and any hobbies or interests that you take on. And you have a day to day routine, but it feels repetitive. And for us overthinkers, you may start to question and evaluate what feeling that you're sensing in that moment. And it's not like you're unhappy, but you're not necessarily overwhelmed with excitement either. And so you start questioning and thinking, is this what adulthood is supposed to feel like? And here's the everyday reality, it shows up in small ways, and you don't really question it at first. For example, you go to your fridge, you might have a fridge full of food options, whether it's cooked food or ingredients to make food, yet you're not interested in anything that's in there. When I was growing up, my mom always told me and my dad that we have food at home. And being an adult, that phrase still crosses my mind. I'm like, I have lots of groceries in my fridge. There's food at home. But at times, I'm not interested in anything that's in there. Or another small way this can show up, you don't hate your job, work is fine, you have great colleagues, but it's not like you're overwhelmed with joy. You're like, it's Monday. Let's start this bad boy again. It's more like you're doing things because you have to. And you know what? Everything is fine. It just feels repetitive. And then you start asking yourself questions that you may not even say out loud. The overthinker in us might say, is this just adulthood? Should I be feeling more fulfilled than this? Or is there something wrong with me? When nothing is wrong, it's confusing when things feel off. And then, you know what? I started thinking about how differently routine, repetitiveness felt when I was younger. Like, weekends used to feel like a break. When you're younger, you don't really have a lot of responsibilities typically on your shoulders. Weekdays had excitement in them. You get to see your friends. You get to play your sports or your activities, your hobbies. Maybe you have your job outside of school and you're making your first real money for the first time. That's exciting. But, everything sort of feels reversed. And when you're younger, you have that routine. Everyone follows a routine. But I think the difference is when you're younger, typically you don't have the weight of responsibility on your shoulders. You're not necessarily 100% or 50% responsible for yourself, for your livelihood. And I think that's where the difference lies. You see, back then, structure created excitement. It's a way for your parents to entertain you, but to also sort of guide you through that stage of life. But now your responsibilities in adulthood is what creates your routine. And I realized something that I don't think we talk about enough. I feel like we expect life to feel engaging 24/7. And if it's not, we assume something is wrong. And then you give yourself this pressure to feel fulfilled all of the time. We were never really taught how normal it feels for life to just feel neutral. There's nothing wrong with it. And it's okay if not every single moment of the day is filled with excitement and thrill. Here's the reality: adulthood is consistency, responsibility, and repetition. It's not always constant excitement, and that's okay. Adulthood tends to value maintenance of our livelihood over novelty, consistently finding something new to be um, excited about, whether it's a new meal, new breakfast routine, or okay, it's a brand new day. I have the weekend off outside of, my responsibilities in the home. Let's go watch something new, explore something different, or relax in a different way. Rather than relaxing at home, let me book a spa experience and do that. A lot of adulthood is just consistency and responsibility. And I think that's the difference between when we were younger and now. There's just more responsibility that you have over yourself. And so you're doing things out of, I need to make a living. I need to live. I need to maintain my lifestyle. And maybe the problem isn't that there's something wrong. Maybe it's just a different pace. Maybe we expected something else. Maybe we expected neutral to feel different. Let me tell you this: neutral doesn't mean empty, and it doesn't have to mean empty. Not every moment is meant to feel exciting. Some moments are just meant to be lived. Don't overthink it, says the overthinker. And I think what I'm learning is not judging the feeling, not rushing to fix it, and just letting life be what it is in certain seasons. And you don't have to fix every feeling that feels unfamiliar or not super exciting. So I'm curious, have you ever felt this way? And what part of your life feels like that right now? If you're in a season like this, or even a moment like this, nothing is necessarily wrong. This is just part of adulthood. So remember, sometimes nothing is wrong. Life isn't just always meant to feel super exciting or thrill seeking. And that's okay. If you like this episode, remember to subscribe, follow, like, and share with someone you think that this conversation might be helpful for. Thank you. Until next time. Bye.